Mike. See, I said we were gonna mess it up eventually, so we did mess it up. How's it going, everybody? So with me, the people of the hour, I get to see them live. This is so cool. It's Ann and Marcus. How's it going?
Hi. Hello. Doing well. Thanks for having us. If anyone's tuning in for the first time today, I'm Ann, aka Apricot Sushi, on all the social media. Do the website Chick Pixel. Have been working with Aksys for a while now on mostly otome games. I'm a big otome game fan, but we're also here for all the other great announcements today. So looking forward to chatting.
And I'm Marcus. I write for Hardcore Gamer, and sometimes I'll review Aksys otome games. Yeah. So, and I also co-host the podcast with her called Chick Pixel. But that's pretty much. I'm just here to enjoy the announcements and have fun.
Sounds good. All right, first off, you guys came all the way. Thank you, because Marcus, I make almost the same drive you do. It sucks. But then we also got you all the way from Australia. So I hope, first off, you're enjoying your time in the United States so far. I know it's been a while, but I don't know. Have you been to SoCal before? No. Okay, now. Okay, gotcha. All right, so we'll indoctrinate you well enough. So, just really quick, we're gonna basically just talk about a little of the things that we're really excited for in terms of what's coming up from the future, and then as well as I'm gonna probably grill Ann a little bit on the stuff that she's been working on, because I'm very happy to say that she's been working with us at Aksys Games, helping us make our games even better. So I'm really looking forward to the projects that she is working on, especially the next one that's coming up, which is Paradigm Paradox, that will be releasing next week, October 27th. And could you tell me what your role was on Paradigm Paradox?
Yes, sure. So I was the proofreader for Paradigm Paradox, which is the final check you have after the translation and the editing phase. So I go through all of the text, make sure everything looks good to go, do a little bit of unifying character voices between routes and making sure everything just reads really well, flows well between the different teams, and kind of like helping bring it all together at the end. So I'm very excited for everyone to play that next week. It has that great magical girl theme, which is not very common in an otome game. So yeah, really fun. It was great to work on.
Yeah, I'm glad to hear that. Yeah, as somebody who kind of grew up on Sailor Moon, I'm pretty excited for this. So I'm really excited to find whichever character is the closest to Sailor Uranus, and then that's going to be my favorite. The cool one, yes, obviously. The cooler one, right? Marcus, really quick, I know that we have like a bajillion games coming out. I am simultaneously thankful and sorry for everybody, but trust me, I know, like I have I see a lot of people in chat. I will grill you guys on your backlogs, because we have a lot of games coming out, so you guys need to get through your backlogs, but I do too. So I wanted to ask, like, if there was any one of our games that is coming out in the next year, 2023, I should say, we're pretty much on the cusp, around the corner, that you're really looking forward to playing.
Well, what is Error Salvation's official English name? I'm sorry, we literally just heard it, but...
No, it's all right. Verce, Evermore, Error Salvation. No, I know, it's the first time you hear it, so it's okay, no worries. And I'm pretty proud of the name that we chose, honestly.
It is a good name, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I was really excited to see that announced. But you know, I'm also just excited for Ann's proofreading work. You know, I wanna play that game. Just excited, just to support my buddy. You know, I'm like, oh my god, working on otome games, that's like a dream for her. So I'm very proud and excited to support that. Paradigm Paradox for sure. So yeah.
Yeah, I know. Especially because, like, you know, we're around 2 years of me being here, so it's like around 2 years of me playing otomes. So it's like Anne was basically the person who like saved my first stream basically, because I just sat around and I'm like, hey Anne, tell me about these otome games, and Anna was like, bam, these otome games are so cool, here's all the cool things about Pio Fiore, I believe it was. Yeah, it was Pio Fiore. So now we're 2 years and we're here talking about it live. So I mean, it's pretty full circle. It's pretty cool. Yeah. So you are also working on another title with us right now that's coming out. We just finally put a month to it, which I'm really excited for. Tell me a little bit about Norn 9.
Yes, so Norn 9 VAR Commons, you've just announced, is coming March next year. So that's coming up fast. And this is the port of the PlayStation Vita game that you've also released, Aksys released a few years back. So VAR Commons for the Switch is coming out first, and then we'll also have the fan disc coming out later in the year sometime, hopefully. That one's Last Era. So with this new port to Switch of Norn 9 VAR Commons, I was brought on board to update the localization. So I went through all of the previously translated text and just sort of polished and buffed it up a little bit, brought it up to snuff for the Switch release, and it's looking really good. Just finished up that a couple weeks ago. So my role is done, and now I'm actually moving on to Last Era. So I will be proofreading and overseeing that one to make sure all of the terms and all the character voices and everything that you get in the first game are consistent to the second game. So really looking forward to that. I personally am a big fan of this game, as that sci-fi theme is not something you see in otome games super often. You've got a huge cast of characters and that unique feature of the 3 female leads, and they each have their own romanceable male leads is very, very interesting. So I hope everybody looks forward to that. And even if you've played the Vita version, there will be a little bit of new content on that Switch version, I think. And of course, you'll be able to read the updated English script.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. The one thing I want to say is that I feel like, as somebody who's been consuming translated media for over 20 years now, that like it's definitely needed that sort of thing for Norn 9, because we have gotten, I believe, like way better at translating from the past 10 years, I would say. Like in general, I feel like the media that we get from Japan that we have to translate over ends up being way better translated than it used to. So it's really nice that not only do we get to have it proofread and sort of looked over again, but that also Last Era also gets that same sort of like continuation in terms of feel and consistency, so that when you're going from one game to the next, it doesn't feel like you're dropping back to like 2008 and then jumping into 2022. So I think it's a very cool thing about it. Marcus, I was wondering if you had played Norn 9, and if you have, like, what are you excited for, like playing Last Era or anything? Or if you have not, then is there something you're really looking forward to with Norn 9? Because personally speaking, for me, the reason why I'm excited for Norn 9 is because this is a game that literally, since I got to working with Aksys Games, I had always heard about it, despite it not having any news up until we announced it at Anime Expo to come for a Switch port. But that doesn't mean I ever forgot about the game, because it was impossible to with otome fans. So I'm wondering, like, if you have anything to look forward to with that game.
So I did play Norn 9 when it first came out. But I have this weird thing where, like, after I finish a video game, I just, like, it's all gone from my brain. It's really helpful if I ever want to replay or rewatch something, because it's, like, fresh experience again. But for any other purpose, it's pretty bad, because, like, I don't know why there's, like, multiple protagonists. Yeah, you know, it's like I could kind of vaguely remember there was some cool stuff happening and sci-fi. But otherwise, I'm just like, I don't know. It's new to me. So I'm obviously going to pick up the Switch version and, you know, go through both titles on there and enjoy Ant's work again, you know, the improved everything. So I'm looking forward to just, you know, going in basically fresh for me. So just excited.
Yeah, I'm super excited too. I'm really, really excited to sort of, because one of the things with the amount of otome games that we're releasing is it's very hard to go back. So every now and then I get to go back, and this is sort of like, now I got an excuse, right? Like, I get to go back and see, because a lot of the at least for me, a lot of the previous otome games are a big reason on why otome games are getting more popular, is because those games were so influential to the otome community in the United States, that, or I should say in the Western audience in general, that it was because of those games that they continued to get popular. They were so good and they were so beloved by fans that we get to still continue to localize more and more games because those ones were so good.
Yes, I agree. Yes. Well, for example, like being able to see Code Realize be released multiple times. So I played the original version on Vita. Yeah, and then we've got the PS4 port, but also a Switch port now. And so more and more people are able to see play that. And I can suggest it to everyone. I remember I told you a lot about how great Impy was, and you finally played that route. So, you know, so fans like me who can keep recommending things, you know, if they are re-released, then new fans are able to experience them. But with something like Norn 9, of course, it's very hard to go back to the Vita. So even though it has this clout, you, of course, you know, no shame to you at all, Sammy, but haven't had a chance to go back and play it. But now that we've got the Switch version, it's that much easier. And then you've got all these new fans who have heard, you know, how great Norn 9 is, can go back and play it. And we've got the fan disc, which really answers a lot of questions that the original game didn't fully tackle, especially because it's a sci-fi story. You've got this really interesting overarching story going on in addition to the interpersonal relationships, and maybe some of those questions didn't get fully fleshed out in the first game, but you get all that in the second game, which is why I love fan discs, and you get to see more of everybody and learn more about the world. And yeah, so yeah, just having these re-releases are really great. But of course, we've got all the classics too that we can go back to.
Yeah, it's imperative to me as a new otome player to sort of look back at that history, because that history is important. Marcus, I know you are a very big collector proponent of visual novels in general, but also otomes as well. When we're talking about sort of Norn 9 then to now, like, what's your biggest sort of like, what's one of the biggest, I should say one of the biggest things that you have noticed in terms of like the state of visual novels then and now?
Well, I mean, a whole lot has happened since then. I mean, even around Vita releases, it still felt fairly niche in a sense that the otome audience was obviously there all over the internet, but it still felt, okay, there's just only one company doing this for the most part, and we know we're gonna get these games on Vita, but that's it. There's nothing else. It's kind of, that's the end of that. But then then it's like, wow, well, today it's not so niche. It's like everything is everywhere. These games are coming out on Switch, and a lot of people are talking about them, including people who wouldn't have considered themselves like part of the otome fandom to begin with, are just, you know, because they have a Switch and maybe they like other visual novels. And then they see, oh, you know, what's this? Whereas before, I feel like a lot of people would be, I don't know, turned off, kind of. Oh, the obvious things that people say about, oh, it's a game about women and romance and all this stupid stuff. But it's like, okay, just actually open yourself to play these games. And I think more people are opening up now, which is increasing the audience for people who maybe wouldn't have been the expected demographic. So I think that's the big difference, is just the shift of the audience and more people willing to try otome games, and that helps it. So there's more. So hopefully that keeps feeding into itself, so we see even more releases, more companies getting involved in the otome world. It's impossible to play them all. There's too many, but I'm happy. I love that. Just surround me with all these games, and I'll never play them, but I'll just love that they're here.
It's better to have too many than too little. Yeah, I'd say. And in general, I think that also that sort of competitiveness that's going to be pretty natural with having so many otome games coming out means that all of the otome games are going to have to get better, and that means, you know, it's a good cycle. It's a good cycle to be in right now, and it's really cool to be sort of at the what I feel like is sort of like the beginning of the cycle. We're sort of like revving up to what would be like, this 2023 feels like so big. compared to all of the other years. And I thought this year was really big. We announced a lot of games this year. A lot of games came out this year. We still have 2 more. Like, that's crazy. So like now I'm really excited that, like, you know, 2023 looks even bigger. It has so much hype to it. We're already, crazily enough, looking at 2024 to some degree. And so it's just the, you know, ball keeps rolling. I think that's great. Speaking of 2024, Tengoku Struggle Stray Side, we announced for 2024. I know it's a while from now, but I know you guys got backlogs, so it's not that bad. I'm really excited for Tengoku Struggle. There's a lot of reasons why I'm excited for it. First one is that sort of very early on to when I started working with Aksys Games, Olympia Soiree was one of the games that really sort of popped when we saw the first Japanese trailer that came out, and that's because a large portion of Satoi's work will be continued in Tengoku, and I'm really excited for it because one, well, I was mentioning this a little bit beforehand, that I really like how the transition, or I should say comparing from Olympia Soiree to Tengoku, there's still that color vibrancy that I loved out of Olympia Soiree, but it's different now.
Yeah, I was remarking, we were watching the stream as Sami was doing it in another room, and as soon as you see that orange in the trailer, you just know, oh, it's Tengoku Struggle. It has a very distinct visual style, and it's just really fun. I really love Olympia Soiree, and as you mentioned, we have the same artist, so Satoi, as well as the same director from Olympia Soiree. So that, I think, is a really solid team, as having played through all of the routes in Olympia Soiree and really liking it. I'm super excited to see what Tengoku Struggle is going to be like, and yeah, all the character designs are really great. It just looks really fun, vibrant, and as you said, vibrant like Olympia Soiree, but in a very different aesthetic, but equally fun. Yeah.
I want to talk about the art. The trailer alone is just like, if you're just sitting there and you turn, bam, it's like, oh my god, what is this? If you didn't know, but you're just immediately drawn in. It's like, this is so cool. I love this art. And I just wanted to mention like something I was thinking about. Otome games have such good art like all the time, versus if you consider, I guess, the shoujo visual novels, it is often so bland, so boring. I love Otome art. Like, oh my god, regardless of anything else, it's just like, it's so good. It's 100% the best peak work. So yeah, Tengoku Struggle definitely looks great, but everything looks great, honestly.
And we'll do a lot more of this in 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now, we'll be talking a lot more about what we talked about at All Access. It'll be kind of like a little like recap of what we did, sort of like I do before any of our big announcement shows. But really quickly, I have to, because you know me and I'm going to do it. We're going to talk about seiyus for a second. Just for a second, because this is literally like quick studying, like, you know, we were setting up for All Access, so I didn't have a lot of time, sort of like just this is the all-star cast of voice actors that I like. It's crazy. Like, I'm just gonna talk about like a few. I'm not gonna talk about all of them, and this is literally just a few. Like Makoto Furukawa, Ryota Suzuki, Rikaya Koyama, Yuki Ono, Kaito Ishikawa, Maria Ise, Kajiwara Gakto, and Takehito Koyasu, who sorry, Koyasu is one of my favorites. So he is like, it's sort of like for me it's like 1926 in a degree, because Suda Kenjiro is my favorite voice actor probably of all time, and Koyasu's very close. So now I got Suda Kenjiro in one of the otomes that I'm going to play, and now I got Koyasu in one of the otomes I'm going to play. So I'm like super excited.
Yes, I can tell. Very excited. I'm also excited for some of these voice actors. I don't have my usual notes on what everyone has done, but you know, Yuki Ono and Kaito Ishikawa are pretty big names for me. They're in a lot of other otome games as well as other media. So if you like voice actors, there's definitely going to be at least one person in this cast that you can check the cast lists for some of your other games and probably find them in there. Like I'm pretty sure a couple of these are in Color Malice and other Aksys titles, even regardless of publishers and all of that. So it's a lot of fun.
You want me to say? I have nothing to say about voice actors. I love them.
You love the art.
No worries, El. Seiyus is very much my thing as someone who watches like too much anime. But like, it's really cool to get these guys. And I know I did not mention all of them. Trust me. But these are the ones that I can like sort of point to a great body of their work just from being fans of them. Like specifically, I know that there's others like Saito Soma, who is also in the game, who's also in Norn 9. So I do know that there's just a huge laundry list of fantastic voice actors. Front to back, you can go look at the list. It's like, oh, you'll know every single one of those if you play Otome games or watch any anime in the last 2 years. That's how like quality the list is. So like, it's just one of those things. Like I think that when you play the game, you'll just every time a new character gets introduced, you'll know their voice, and that's great. Yeah, it's great. Yeah, that's the worst part about liking seiyus is that like if you don't have their name and voice, perfect. Yeah, or if it's like one of those seiyus who are very good at changing up their voice. Midorikawa comes to mind. Very, very good at changing his voice. When you hear the little tint that indicates that it's somebody you know, but you can't point it out very, very, very specifically. Gakuto is also another one who's like that. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't be more excited for Tengoku because it's just, man, it's like like Marcus said, like it's how I felt about Very when the Variable Barricade, when that trailer came out, because the trailer came out and you're like, oh, like it immediately captures everything like you want. Like you're just like, oh, this is exactly what I want. That's like sort of how I felt for Tengoku. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to talk really quick. Have you guys here, and it's so wonderful. We get to talk about otomes, and we'll probably do a little bit more of that as we go, just hang out tonight. But first off, thank you so much for coming to the Aksys office and talking to me about otomes. This is like the dream, so thank you so much. I want to give you guys a brief moment, please, or as many moments as you want. Go, please, talk about what you're working on, where they can find you, etc., etc.
Okay, well, first of all, thank you so much for having us. It's a lot of fun to be here. And as Marcus mentioned earlier, we do a podcast together. It's called Pixel, but it's Pixel X Pixel. The X is silent. And we're coming up on 100 episodes. We're celebrating 100 episodes this Saturday. And since I'm here in person, we're going to be doing our first ever in-person live stream. We've got some Aksys game codes to give away on that stream. And so we would love to see all of you there. That's at 1 p.m., right? 1 p.m. PT on Saturday. So that's Pacific time. And yeah, it should go for an hour or two. It will be our usual podcast recording. So if you haven't heard that before, we talk about what we've been playing, watching, reading, whatever kind of geeky stuff we've been doing. Of course, there's always a lot of Otome game talk. You can't escape that with us. And yeah, we hope to see you there. The stream will be at twitch.tv/pixelpacas. That's PIXELPACAS. But if you want to follow us on Twitter, it's probably the easiest way to get news. I'm at Apricot Sushi there. And thanks again.
Well, you said pretty much what I was going to say. Anyway, same thing. Watch the Pixel stream, please. And my Twitter handle is MARCUSBOI, Marcus Boy, an I. I tweet like maybe once a month, and that's great. I won't spam your feed with anything. It's only the most important things that I post as well. But yeah, definitely check into our stream. Thank you.
No, thank you for joining us. Both of the handles are down there. I just realized it's not very easy to see, but I will be tweeting out their stream on my Twitter at least, and also the Aksys Twitter, because they're awesome. So we appreciate everything you guys do for otomes. Thank you guys so much. Why are you laughing? You do so. You're the one who's laughing, yet you're the one who actually does so much. I just sit here and I just talk. I'm like, wow, guys, Seiyus, that's crazy, right? And you're the one who like actually does work that everybody is going to see, and you're the one who, unbelievable. Anyway, thank you guys for joining us so much. We'll have everything up on YouTube shortly if you guys want to recap anything that's that we went through today. Other than that, Paradigm Paradox will be releasing October 27th. That is next week. We will be having a launch day stream for that where I'll be playing it. I'm really looking forward to that. Hope to see you guys all there. But if that's all, I hope you guys have a good rest of your week. Go play some video games, have some fun, and I'll see you guys later. Take it easy.